welcome back to another video. Welcome if you are new here. My name is Jasmine and I make faith and lifestyle videos. I film bookish style videos, little cozy vlogs, things like that, and I mainly speak about my faith and my testimony, the journey that I go through with my health, and just sharing God's goodness, you know, and my journey with that and with God. And yeah, so if you're new here, welcome. And if you haven't subscribed already, feel free to subscribe down below. I would absolutely love to have new people on here and subscribe and to meet new people. And yeah, today I'm going to be filming a bookish style video, another bookish one, because I want to film a lot more of those. I feel like I haven't done that many. And as you can see, I'm surrounded by books here. So I'm going to be filming books based on your book recommendations based on your favourite genre. I thought this was a really cute idea. I saw it somewhere else on YouTube. And yeah, I feel like, and also from my Instagram, I feel like the main favourite genres right now are fantasy, Christian fiction, especially from my Instagram anyway, and romance. So I'm going to be recommending 3 books from each genre and recommending some of my favourites from like each of those genres so that you can get some good recommendations, and so hopefully you can enjoy these books as much as I did. Comment down below what other book videos you would like me to film and what you would like to see, whether it's like little reading vlogs or other book recommendation videos. All of these books are also all low and no spice because that's what we love here. And yeah, I could recommend some great no spice, low spice reads. I could do a book video about that. Even though I don't have the physical books, I can just like overlay and put it as a picture. I can do that. So yeah, let's just get on with the video. Okay, so first I'm going to be doing fantasy. I don't think I've spoken about these books on here, this channel, before. If I have, sorry about that, you'll just have to listen to them again. But they are really good recommendations, and like I said, they're all low and no spice because I don't like reading any of that. I think books are so much better without it. So yeah, I'm just going to get on with showing you the books. So the first one is by The Orchid and the Owl, and this is by Mariah Montoya. This was such a cute and whimsical and sweet read. It was basically like, if you imagine Fourth Wing, which I have read, and I liked it, but I obviously didn't love it because of the spice. I had to keep skipping so many scenes. So it's basically like that, but it's like fairy and whimsical and just really sweet. So basically it follows this 18-year-old girl, Raina, who is basically, each year where she lives on this island, they go through a branding, and the branding is basically where the council infuse their blood with 5 of the sanctioned magics. So they basically get the ability to either wield elements, summon objects, shift forms, talk to wildlife, or manipulate minds. And the branding obviously doesn't hurt them or anything like that. And then she's basically infused with the ability to be able to talk to wildlife. She then goes to this school to basically learn about her ability and her magic, and it's this like institution, this school, and basically in this school there's each different sections for each different magical ability. She meets this 5th year who is a what was he? So he is a 5th year who can manipulate minds, and it's about their story, how it's kind of like enemies to lovers. And then she learns a lot about her family and her past. When she goes to this school, she realizes that her power is a lot more powerful than it seems, and it's, you know, than she thought it would be. And this guy that she's met also knows a lot more about her than she realizes, and it's about how they kind of come together. And it's a really sweet enemies to lovers book. It is part of a series, however I'm not sure I want to read the next one because apparently it is a lot more like spicier. I mean, as much as I do, you know, this one was completely low spice, so I was able to like research ahead, know where to skip, and I just skipped straight past it. But yeah, apparently they do get spicier as they go along, so I don't think I'm going to be reading the next in the series. And plus I'm happy with that. Like, this was just a really sweet book, and it kind of ended really nicely, not in like too much of a cliffhanger way that I was like, oh my gosh, I need to read the second book. So yeah, it was really sweet and just a really good fantasy, and it's also a really beautiful cover as well. So that's the main character there on the front, and then it's just got really sweet like patterns on it and animals and flowers, and that's what drew me to the book really, the really beautiful cover. And yeah, I really liked it because I liked how she could talk to animals. I loved all the magical elements and things like that, and I thought it was a really, really sweet book. So I would definitely recommend this one if you're looking for a good new fantasy. So the next one, this one that I recently read at the start of the year and finished just after Christmas. Actually, no, it was in January that I finished it. Well, yeah, just after Christmas. And it is called Air of Illusion, and this is by Madeline Taylor. It's absolutely gorgeous. Originally, I'd seen this book like on Instagram, advertised on Instagram, and then I was like, I'm not sure if I'm going to like that. And then when I went into the bookshop, because I had a little voucher for Christmas that I wanted to spend, I saw this book and it was like half price or something like that. Like there was also another offer on it. And I was like, do you know what? I'm going to give it a go because it looked so pretty. And then I opened it up and look at the inside. How pretty is that? It's so cute. And then that's got the main characters there, little monster there, octopus thing. And also the front cover is just gorgeous. This one follows the story of Ivy, who has the power of illusion. And she's basically bound to this king who she's married to, who keeps her bound as an assassin. And he's awful. He's like horrible. He treats her really horribly, speaks to her horribly. But she's basically, there's nothing she can do. She's bound to him by this iron necklace that she wears around her neck. But then he's a reaper from like this death realm or something. It's not as dark as it sounds. It's actually really good. And basically he's hunting this weapon that she also needs to be able to come free and get free from this king that she's bound to. And basically it's just how, again, enemies to lovers, how they collide. And he basically then helps her and it's like, I'm going to help you and like, you know, help you to be released from this awful guy, this king, because he basically sees how this king treats her and he's like, no, that's not okay. I'm going to help you. And it's just basically how they come together, unravel secrets and all of that. And it was just really good. And on the front of this book, it says this is how you do romantasy. And I completely agree. This was great right from the start and the end. I was completely hooked and I absolutely loved it. Again, this one is part of a series and I think I will read the second one because this was literally, there was hardly any spice in it. In fact, not at all. There was literally one scene at the end that you could just be like, okay, skip. And yeah, and he just treated her so beautifully, this Reaper. I've forgotten his name now. Yeah. So it's basically, she just basically discovers who she is because this king, he's like, you know, you're mine and I'm gonna keep you forever and you're bound to me and you can't do this and that. And she's just like, yeah, no, absolutely not. And it's just how she comes to power and how she's like, nobody's gonna treat me like that and I'm powerful and I'm a queen and I'm this. And I'm like, yes, girl. So good. So yeah, I would definitely recommend this. I'm looking forward to the next one coming out, but I don't think it comes out till next year, which is really annoying. So yeah. I do have another book that I would recommend, which is called The Rose Bargain. And I really wanted to show that, but then I gave that one to my friend because I knew that she would love it. Basically, if you don't know what The Rose Bargain is, it's like set in the Regency era, a bit like Bridgerton. It's basically like Bridgerton meets A Court of Thorn and Roses, but without the spice. And it was really great because it had like fae in it, but it was also set in like the Regency Bridgerton era, and I absolutely loved it. And the next book, The Thorn Queen, I think it's called, from the second of that series, is just come out and I can't wait to get it. That is going to be the ones that I'm going to get this week and I can't wait. It's so good. So I would have included that book, but I've passed it along to my friend because I just was like, girl, you have to read this book right now because it is so up her street. She loves Bridgerton and all that kind of Regency stuff, so I was like, you need to read this book. So I gave it to her. Anyway, another fantasy recommendation that I have is Shield of Sparrows. This was one of my favourite reads last year. I absolutely loved this. It was so good. I've just read the second book in this series called Right to the Starling, and I really did love that, but I would definitely give it a few stars down because it was spicy, that one. So I had to skip a lot more and like really research ahead on what chapters to skip and pages to skip. So I was finding that I was skipping a lot more of the book, whereas with this first one, nothing in it at all. Well, hardly anything, like literally like Air of Illusion, one scene right at the end, easily skippable, able to research where it was. But yeah, The Rights of the Starling was really, really good and I enjoyed it, and I liked how like it ended. I liked the cliffhanger and the twist in it. But this one was definitely my favourite. I think it was just such an amazing, great read. And I didn't have that many high hopes for this book when it did come, because I was a bit like, oh, actually, well, I like this book, but I absolutely loved it. It was incredible. It was so, so good. So basically this one again is about a young girl called Odessa. Basically, her sister. So basically she has her father who is a king, and her sister is basically meant to be next to be married to become queen. And this prince is travelling from another land to come and marry her, but basically her sister, to come and marry her sister. But then basically Odessa gets chosen, even though she's not meant to be. She's not meant to be the queen. She's not meant to be chosen. But this prince is like, no, I want her. She's going to be my queen. And everybody's like, what? You're not supposed to choose her. And it's basically how she then has to follow this prince and marry him. And he has a guard with him called Ransom. Yeah, he's called Ransom. And he is the guard of this prince that she's marrying. And basically it's how the guard trains her to fight, to use weapons and all of this. And she basically just has to follow this life that she was sort of never meant to live, and follow this prince and marry him. But then she finds out secrets about her father on this quest, even though she said to her father, look, because her father was like, look, you're going to have to go, but you can be my spy and you can find out about stuff. But then she obviously doesn't do that. It's then how she falls in love with the guard, and it's just a really beautiful story, and basically how he helps her and how they come together, and so many different secrets are revealed of who the prince really is. And yeah, it's just a really beautiful story. There's like monsters in it and things like that, which I didn't think I would like, but I really did. So yeah, so basically at the end it just says here on the synopsis, but what if I refuse the role chosen for me? So basically she never chose this role to be queen, and she's had to follow this prince and his guard to this other land where she's never been. And you know, she has to go and sail to another land with him, and so she's thrown into this other world with monsters and everything, and learning how to fight, and basically then how she realizes who she is, and like, do you know what? And yeah, it's so good. A lot better than I probably just explained. I'm not the best at explaining books, but yeah, again, it's a beautiful book. Look at that, so pretty. So yeah, I'm definitely going to be reading this again and keeping it, because it is such a beautiful book. And this is the little bookmark I made for it. I love making bookmarks. So yeah, that is definitely one I would recommend for fantasy. So those are all my fantasies that I would recommend for the fantasy genre. We'll move on to romance. Now, I was never a big romance like girly before. I always found it quite cheesy and was like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna like romance books. But then a book that really got me into romance was a book that I read last year called Picking Daisies on Sundays. I can't actually remember who that was by. No, I'm sorry, I can't remember, but it was, but yeah, Picking Daisies on Sundays is actually really what got me into romance, and it was just so sweet and such a good book, and I loved it. Again, it was completely like spice free and low spice. It was so, so nice. So that is when I really got into romance. So the first one that I would recommend, even though this is Wings of Starlight. Now, even though this book could come under fantasy, I guess, I thought I'd include it in romance, because it basically is a romance book about star-crossed romance. So it is really, really sweet, and this is inspired obviously by Disney. Don't know if you can see that, by Tinkerbell Disney. So if you've watched any of the like Tinkerbell movies growing up, you will love this, and you'll know exactly what I mean when I'm saying like it's about Disney and Tinkerbell and all of that kind of vibe. So if you loved all of those films, you will love this book. I will read the synopsis because it's easier than me having to explain it. So it says, while most warm season fairies fear the legends of monsters lurking in the winter woods, Clarion can't help but being intrigued. But she has little time to dwell on daydreams while the days of her coronation dwindle away. When reports of a monster crossing from winter into spring make their way to the palace, Clarion travels to the edge of winter where she finds Mallory. Now basically, because she's a warm season fairy, she's not really meant to travel to the winter because that would be harmful to her, and yeah. So she finds this young guardian called Mallory at the winter woods, and they basically form an unlikely bond and an alliance to basically try and stop these monsters coming through. And they kind of do come through and they cause a lot of harm, and it's just how they kind of save both of their like realms, lands and stuff. And obviously she's not really meant to be in love with him because he is a warm season fairy, but it's about how they fall in love, and it's just so beautiful. And it just says, but as their alliance warms, they discover there is a reason warm season fairy and a winter fairy must not be together, and the cost could be just as deadly as the monsters that prowl the winter woods. I didn't again have very high hopes for this, but basically every time I went into the bookshop at Waterstones, I picked it up, and eventually my friend was like, look, you pick up this book every single time you come in, you just need to buy it. So I did, but I actually picked this up on Amazon. Yeah, and I actually really liked it. Again, I was like, am I gonna like this? Because even though I watched like all the Disney and the Tinkerbell films growing up, I was like, I'm not sure if I like this. I might just find it a little bit too young, but no, it was beautiful. I loved it. It was so sweet, and I think it's really got me into like fairy and whimsical books now because I really enjoyed it. Again, beautiful cover, and I love the chapter like pages as well. I think they're so pretty. So yeah, if you're looking for a really nice, sweet, whimsical fairy romance, get this book. Okay, so now on to 2 other romance books. I'm so excited to talk about these because I absolutely love them. Basically, this is the Meadow Hills series by Whitney Amazine. I got these books from my beautiful best friend, which I was so excited about. Basically, she'd asked me what I wanted for my birthday, and I was just like, oh, there's a few books that I really like. This was one of them. Now, I thought this was the first book. I thought this was just a standalone book, did not realise it was part of a series until when I opened this. And then I opened this, and she brought me both the books in the series. So I opened this one first, and then as I was reading the back, when I opened it, it says this is a second book in the Meadow Hill series. And I was like, oh, it's a series, but you can read each of these books as a standalone, so it doesn't matter which order you read it in. So this one is called The Wrong Kind of Falling. Again, I will read the synopsis because it's a lot better than me trying to explain it. But basically, these books are Christian fiction, no spice, and they are just beautiful. Like, oh my gosh, they're just the sweetest stories ever. I cannot wait to read this one again when it comes to autumn and fall time, because it just gets you all in the vibes and the feels, and it's so cute. So it basically follows Sebastian and Romilly. So Sebastian Black doesn't do the right thing. He didn't listen when his parents told him not to become a professional MMA fighter, and he refused to play the part of a polished high society heir. Sure, he's finally free, but with his family's money cut off, his next fight months away, and no sponsors to endorse him, he needs a temporary job fast. So basically, because of his fighting, his family basically cut him off. And he does come from a very rich, like, prestigious family, but they've cut him off because they don't like what he's doing. And Romilly Westphal is known for being a good girl. She's sweet and generous, but maybe a little too ambitious, especially after her last dog grooming business failed. This time she's determined to make things work, but when her assistant quits and her rent suddenly spikes, her second chance at independence starts to crumble. So when she meets this infuriatingly charming and handsome newcomer at the small town church, hiring him as a temporary dog bather seems like her only option, even if he is entirely wrong for the job, and for her, he's desperate for work, and desperate is exactly what she needs. But the good girl and the bad boy were never supposed to mix, and the more time they spend together, the more determined Bash becomes to show Romilly that he is someone she can trust. Basically, he's called Bash for short, rather than Sebastian. With the fight of Bash's life on the horizon, he'll have to decide if winning means breaking free of everyone trying to control him, or fighting for a future that is finally worth staying for. So yeah, it was beautiful. I thought it was such a sweet book. I literally read this so quickly because it was just so good, and I absolutely loved it. So yeah, it's just a really sweet, short book. I think it's only like 30 chapters long, if I'm right. Yeah. And then look, it's got all the like, oh, of course I can't find it now, I'm trying to show you. And then it's got all these cute little like pages like that. Yeah, and I absolutely loved this. I thought it was so cute. Not only is the book beautiful, but the story is, and I just love how it has that beautiful sprinkle of faith in it, and it's just a really beautiful romance. It's one that just like leaves you like really swooning and just like, oh my gosh, that's so cute. Like when I was reading this, I was just like, ooh. And my mum was like, are you okay? I was like, yes, it's the book. It's very cute. Okay, and the next one, and my favourite one from this Meadow Hills series, is The Summit of Dandelions. I've literally just finished this at the weekend. It was amazing. This one was my favourite one out of the series. So this is the first book, but as I said, you can obviously read them as standalones. So this is A Summer of Dandelions. How beautiful is the cover? Stunning. Stunning. And it's so cute. It looks like matcha. Very sweet. And then like I love how it has stuff like this in it when it shows like text messages. I love things like that in books. So basically I'll read synopsis. After she is fired from her serving job and kicked out of her apartment by her temperamental roommate, Addison Ellsworth has run out of luck and cash. She can practically see the dream of winning the Miss Meadow title drifting away from her with the summer breeze. This is her last chance to win. No more excuses. No more distractions. Sorry about that, there was a police car. About that, guys, there was like loads of police cars just on the road then. No more excuses, no more distractions. Not even her ex, the host of the pageant, who is convinced Addison is still not over him. When a live-in nanny position opens up in town, she sends off a quick prayer and a pink resume, hoping the new job will be her saving grace. But Addison's answered prayer quickly transforms her into an unexpected hurdle. Not only is her gorgeous new boss completely distracting, but single dad Perry also happens to be the restaurateur who had her fired. So Perry can't fire her from this job though, because she's the only nanny that his children get along with. Now he's forced to bring Addison and her contagious dimpled smile on family trips and pretend he's not attracted to her. With his dad retired and ready to move, he has 6 months left to get married so he can inherit his childhood home, the last place he has happy memories of his late mother. Addison might be the soulmate to all of Perry's problems, especially when she agrees to a fake relationship that could buy him more time and help Addison to prove her unbearable ex she's not only moved on but upgraded. Now the only thing they have to do is ignore the annoyingly sizzling chemistry between them if they're going to do what's necessary to finally accomplish their dreams. This was amazing. I absolutely loved every second of this book. It was so sweet, so cute, and just so beautiful. I just loved it. It was really, really, really nice. So again, if you're looking for a really sweet romance, I would definitely recommend this series. And if you're looking for a really nice book that like contains Christian faith and like just with a sprinkle of faith that's completely no spice, this is the book for you. Because like I said, I just like prefer, if it's low spice, I don't mind it because that can be easily skipped. You know, you can just skip past it like you would with a film. And you know, you can research ahead and be like, okay, what chapters can I skip for this book? What pages do I skip? And obviously when it's no spice, it's great because you don't have to skip anything. So yeah, I just prefer that, like, because when there's been books with spice in before, it's like you have to skip so much. And it's just annoying because you have to like skip so many. There was one book that I was like really excited for that I bought on Amazon. And I was so excited for it. I actually stopped reading the book because I had to skip half of the book. I was just like, skip every single chapter I was skipping. And I was just like, where is like the actual story in this? There was just no story. It was just all spice. I was like, okay. And it completely ruined the book. I think it ruins the book in my opinion. That's probably a controversial opinion, but I prefer books without any spice because I think it is so much better without any spice or with low spice. As I said, I could just prefer books if they're completely no spice and low spice and they're easily skippable, because I think that is so much more better and it honours Jesus, which is what we always want to do. So the last genre and recommendations I have for that is Christian fiction. Now I have 4 books for this, but 3 of them are part of a series, so I'll just like include all of those together. So the first one, which probably a lot of you have heard about, if you're like in the Christian fiction community and you're a Christian, you've probably heard about this, and this is Redeeming Love by Francine Rivers. Again, this book was given to me by my beautiful bestie, so hello if you're watching. And I love this. This is basically a really powerful retelling of the book of Hosea, and it is just beautiful. It's such a beautiful book, and the heart of God in it you could just truly see, and the love of God, how God's love chases after us, how he forgives us, how he redeems us in our suffering. And yeah, that is all I'm going to say because I don't want to ruin it and I don't want to over explain it too much. But yeah, it's a really beautiful and powerful book. This is also not just recently, a couple of years ago now, I think it's come out as a film, and it's beautiful. I cried the whole way through the film because it was just so sweet and beautiful and good. And I cried when reading this book as well. It's just beautiful. And my sister also read this book and she was like, wow, that is the best book I have ever read. So yeah, it is a really beautiful book. not only is it beautiful cover, it's a beautiful story. And I'm about to just pass this one over to one of my other friends because she asked if she could borrow it. So yeah, I really hope she enjoys it too. Okay, so the next few are from the Mark of the Lion series. You've probably seen these books around a lot. Again, my bestie got me onto these books. I think she bought me the first one. Yeah, she might have done, and then I got the next ones. So the first one is called Voice in the Wind. This basically follows a young girl who is a slave, and she basically gets like sold to this family, and then she falls in love with one of the with the young son in that family. And it says, torn by her love for a handsome aristocrat, a young slave girl clings to her faith for the living God for deliverance from the forces of decadent Rome. And yeah, again, it really just shows how like one's faith can really impact another, shows the heart and the love of God. And it's just, oh, it's just such a beautiful, really well written book. Francine Rivers literally does the best Christian romance ever. She writes it so beautifully and it's amazing. Again, really beautiful books. A lot of people don't really like books when they have like people on the front, but I love them. I think these are gorgeous. And look, it's really floppy. I love a floppy book like that. I know that's probably weird, but yeah. And I love all the like Roman printing and artwork. I hope you can see that well. I don't know if you can. And yeah, it's again really beautiful story. I won't say too much about it because I literally will give it away if I talk more about what it's about. And yeah, but yeah, that's why I wanted to show you the front page. It's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful book. And then yeah, obviously, as I said, it comes as part of a series. So there's 3 books in this one, and these are the Mark of the Lion series. So Voice in the Wind is book 1, Echo in Darkness is book 2, and this follows the young son story who this Hadassah girl falls in love with. And this one says, turning away from the opulence of Rome, Marcus is led by a whispering voice from the past into a journey that could set him free from the darkness of his soul. This is just gorgeous. I love the front cover. I think it's so cool. I love books like that, as I just said. Again, this one's like a lot shorter. So yeah, this is book 2. And then this is book 3, which follows a completely different story. But yeah, again, like I said, Francine Rivers, there's just no other writer like her, in my opinion, for Christian. Well, not that I'm saying other Christian authors aren't good and I don't enjoy them. I'm just saying like she's the best, top of the top, and I wish they would make these into films as well. Like if you had a film for each of these books, they'd be amazing. So this one follows, I can't actually say his name this well, so forgive me for pronouncing this wrong. Atretes, German warrior. So basically a German warrior, I'm not even going to try and say his name because I will just do it so badly and embarrass myself. So basically it's about this German warrior, a revered gladiator. He won his freedom through his fears, but his life is about to change forever. Won't say much more because again, I will literally give away the whole story. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his name because if I do that wrong, that'll just be like, again, look, how beautiful is the cover? Not that I'm talking about the guy, I mean just the actual like artwork is beautiful. Again, this one's nice and short, and it's got a nice book map in it. Look at that book map. Who doesn't love a book map? So yeah, those are all the books from the genres, from fantasy, Christian, fiction and romance. I really, really hope that you enjoyed this video, that you got some good recommendations from it. And if you're going to read these books, I really, truly hope that you enjoy them and they bring you joy and happiness from reading them. Again, like I said, subscribe if you haven't already. I would love to see some new faces here. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Comment down below what other book style videos you would like me to film, or what other videos in general you would like to film. I do a lot of faith-based videos. I'm also filming little daily vlogs now and again, weekly vlogs, and obviously bookish videos like this one. So let me know what other videos you'd like to see. And thank you so much for watching. I pray that you have a blessed week, and see you in the next video.